Hi everybody, we're playing Funny Danganronpa, Chapter 3. We're still replaying Danganronpa. Because I bought this game, so we're going to be replaying the entire series again, starting with 1, and we're on chapter 3, so that's what we're doing today.
Danganronpa.
Saturday, hopefully I'm gonna start my Persona 5 Royal playthrough. Replaythrough. No, I'm not gonna quit this. That makes shit too easy. That's fucking broken. That's fucking broken, bro.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Why does he sound so different in this game than in, like, Danganronpa V3? Why does he... Am I, like, making that up, or does he sound different in this game than Danganronpa 2? Like, he sounds more laid back in this game.
Punishment. Then I'll punish everyone now then. To begin with...
We already know who did it.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him.
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
Yeah!
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprint for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
Do you think Hiro has the mental brain power to build something like that? I doubt it.
It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you?
Does Hiro have the mental brain power to do that and to plan out this murder? Is Hiro really the killer? Before anything else, we have to make that clear. So I was scrolling through Twitter today, and someone made a quote-unquote, "What is Yasuhiro's message?"
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
Yasuhiro's message. Meet in the dining hall. The handwriting is remarkably neat and clear.
That you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No!
Just hold on a second!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
The suit parts weren't found in Yasuhiro's room.
That you are.
It's not true. It's a
Hero, why?
No! Just hold on a second.
Everything we found in your room.
Shoot!
I honestly don't know this one.
Everything we
I'm
found
very
in your room.
unfamiliar with this trial in particular.
The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff.
It's not true. It's a
Hero, why?
No! Just hold on a second.
Everything we found in your room.
Was that really his
The
room?
blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
Shoot!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
That you are.
It's not true. It's a
Hero, why?
No! Just hold on a second.
Everything we found in the room.
That's the only contradiction here.
Shoot!
Or does the suit not match the
Everything
blueprint?
we found in your room. The blueprint, the suit that you are the culprit.
Shit, I missed.
It's not true. It's a
Hero, why?
No! Just hold on a second.
Everything we found in your room.
The blueprints.
Shoot!
There must be a contradiction in there somewhere.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
Could he have written the note while he was in
It's
the...
not true. It's a
Hero, why?
No! Just hold on a second.
Everything we found in
The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
Fuck.
that you are.
It's not true. It's a
Hero, why?
No! Just hold on a second.
Everything we found in the blueprints.
No, it's wrong.
Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that
Oh,
Hero wrote,
the handwriting is
asking everyone
different.
to meet up. The handwriting's obviously different. Wouldn't you? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
I was thinking that he couldn't have written the note while he was wearing the costume.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my
True.
handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hero?
And he's not the only one. I think Hero is innocent as well.
Byakuya, stop trying to steal my shit.
Who's in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hero said? Was there really someone?
The suspicious individual.
The
hidden
sussy
within
individual.
The suit. Go ahead, Makoto.
Of course, he passes it off to
Who
me.
was in the?
The suspicious individual, the must that have been in the suit. Hero.
Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found...
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
So, anyway, as I was saying,
Of course. But before we get to that,
I was scrolling through Twitter and someone made a
something else
quote,
we need to
no
clarify
politics
first.
mod for
So let's get
Minecraft
that out of
that
the way.
includes removing the text, wash your hands. And I find that very funny because how is that politics? And also, yo, Dream, they made a mod for you. I'm joking about that, by the way.
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
It's the dolly, aren't you
It seems that his
stupid?
corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
I got it! I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right? So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right?
It wasn't really wrapped, but it was on top of it.
Until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tar. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared...
Where'd the dolly go if Hifumi was the one who moved it? I know Hifumi moved it. Oh, did it reappear there? Oh.
So did the dolly.
In other words, you think
I know the
they
basic
used the
things
dolly
about
to
this
move the
trial,
body,
but I don't know the
right?
fine details.
But are you sure you are not mistaken? Huh? Are you
As I've played this game before.
absolutely
Well, I
positive
haven't
that
played
was
it,
in
but...
the equipment room when we found Taka's body, that dolly was made specifically for moving large objects. It would be very strange indeed to discover it. Is it not possible that it was in the repository already?
No.
She's raised an objection.
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway. We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand...
Bitch, I've solved 2 of these fucking cases. Would add 1 more ingredient to the recipe. Oh, this is the ammo. Okay. Reload by pressing the Y button. Okay.
You have it wrong. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. So pathetic. Do your worst. You have it wrong. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. So pathetic.
I fucking suck!
I refuse to give up yet.
I suck at this minigame.
You have it wrong. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. So pathetic. Do your worst. You have it wrong. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Away with you. You agree. So pathetic. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. You haven't
It took him 2 games to make this minigame good.
You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree.
This should prove it. If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved,
Makoto is so much more badass in the anime. Why is he like such a little bitch in this game? Like, in the anime, he's so bad. He's so cool.
when I found the dolly in the repository,
But in this game, he's like,
one of
wee,
the
wee, wee,
wheels
wee,
had a
wee.
blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room, and as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Geez, does Celeste really hate me that
anyway,
much?
That was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become...
Because he couldn't bend his legs in the suit. So he couldn't reach down and grab the dolly, right?
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
Can I see the full blueprint? No one can bend at their waist more than 90 degrees.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now,
It's probably
keep
that.
in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Correct?
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over. Then you could push the
I
dolly,
missed.
no problem. So the killer took and carted the body off.
If you accept F, then you must realize that... sorry, I don't think I realized. As we know, Taka was banned from there.
Yeah, the culprit then loaded it onto...
Now, keep in mind...
Well, yeah, all you have to
Bend over.
No, it's wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Get into a
Think back to what you
position.
said when we were all checking out the suit together.
Big
Remember?
boob supermodel. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist.
That was a really stupid design flaw, Celeste.
Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from...
Who's
simply-
bend over?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
You can't take it off by yourself.
I got it! think taking off the suit was an option. If you
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help?
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
This trial's bad.
You really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing
We
up in
already
the
knew
suit
he was
basically
sussy.
an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgot? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If
You're so
whoever was in that
sussy.
suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased
He did, he just
Hifumi
wanted to
said?
do a little trolling and kidnap someone just for fun.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual.
We're gonna trust the ultimate fanfic creator. We're gonna trust him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Owie, your sheep, shut up.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide.
I'm starting
who
to
did it.
really dislike Owie.
Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when it.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up. So we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture.
When did you take the
Discovered that
picture?
her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were
That
soon joined
fucking
in our
base.
search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor.
This wouldn't have happened if one of you had just stayed and watched Hifumi, you
Soon after
idiots.
that,
Why would you leave someone alone in this game?
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Could he have ran off? The suit was cumbersome.
at that point we decided Celeste, Hina, and I went back while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after. When we got back to the nurse's office, and that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the
That was the
equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
That was the announcement for
And
Taka.
that's when I told you guys about it. Then the three of us headed for the... But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko past. But when we got there, next thing we knew, we were searching the school for two missing and after...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository.
Oh, it
which
was
is where
Celeste
we
found it.
rediscovered the corpse.
I think
This
that
is
about
so
covers-
obvious.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
No, just point at the person who's acting
It
sus, which
certainly
is Celeste.
seems
Who's
to me that
controlling
these are
this
not a
all.
simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation, and from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened. So, regarding Taka's death,
Hold on, I need to set a reminder. Gmail. Gmail. No, reminders. What is my timer at? I have a timer going. 13 minutes, okay. I still have a bit.
I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
Why are you so quiet, Kyoko?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death,
It's gotta be this, right?
I wonder if he... Or perhaps it was after. We already know Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the...
It's true that Hifumi, while Taka's death came from...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, I wonder if he... Or perhaps it was after. We already...
Know what order they were killed in.
Shoot!
Celeste, you're so fucking lucky you have someone as stupid as Hina on your side.
regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if he... Or perhaps it was after. We already know Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the...
Numbering of the Justice Hammers.
so, regarding Taka's death,
So it's not broken wrist swap.
I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
makes you say that?
Because of the
Numbering of the Justice Hammers.
I had a hunch. Because the other two didn't make sense.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
And because you're so stupid...
You're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. I feel like there was something. There was? Oh. Wristwatch. Give me an A. Oh wait, I already have an A.
Now I understand. I've got it. Taka's wristwatch.
Why couldn't I have just presented the truth bullet?
It broke with the hands pointing just past 6
Wait,
o'clock.
so the earlier thing was right. I was saying Taka's wristwatch to the thing.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked.
It just took me 2 steps. I hate Danganronpa.
So if it wasn't broken after...
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
It's all because Hina was
Exactly
an
why
idiot
the
and
culprit
insisted
wrote the
it.
numbers on each hammer and had them
Hina's the
increase in
third.
size.
Hina's the ultimate third imposter.
That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
No.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window, because when he was killed, we hadn't met...
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe. When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all... Then we all ran down to the nurse. That's totally true. We're all...
Oh, I know. They must have
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rocks since all of us were there together. Clearly, none.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, and then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment. At that time, we were all gathered.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body, because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared. So they
Kyoko?
most certainly could have done those things.
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in... So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere. But we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappear. And according to what Celeste said, his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes.
Why would you take your eyes off of it?
That much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
All you gotta do is make it so.
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... No!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
Alive?
Are you saying Hifumi
I could have said that myself. Stop babying me, Kyoko.
walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
Did we check his vitals? Did we check vitals? That's an Among Us reference, by the way.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
What makes you say that, sus
And
woman?
you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that
When we first found Hifumi, there's a chance.
Thank you, Kyoko.
If Hifumi was dead, and you know that, surely you heard the body discovery. Hifumi's
Body been found. And that
Fuck!
why the announcement? Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he would...
No. If Hifumi was dead, and you know that, surely you heard the body Hifumi's dead, and that is why the... Are we really? Maybe the announcement...
Intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he...
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that, surely you heard the body discovery.
Hifumi's dead body.
no, it's wrong. Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty. He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Which means,
and
even
it
if
can't
we
have been
find the same
Taka.
body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice. Got it!
When who came back to
The second
life?
time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies. It didn't seem weird at the time.
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually rediscovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove.
Okay then.
He's
Let's
literally
have another
talked
look
to
at
us.
events surrounding the discovery of his body.
This trial's so bad. He literally talked to us. I know I'm kind of reacting as if it's my first time, which is kind of the charm I'm going for this playthrough. But I want you to keep in mind that I know what happens in the end. I just wanted to replay it because I haven't played these games in a while. Anyway, BRB screen. I have to go flip the laundry over, so I'll be right back. Wait, Celeste does not know how to put blame on someone else while covering up their own murder. Like, with how much evidence you put against
Then it should
Hero,
become clear whether he was really alive or not.
you shouldn't have pushed him so hard, Celeste. Like, Owie could have taken care of that for you, while you just sat back. But no, you're an idiot, Celeste, and you have to push him so hard.
This whole thing is pointless.
There's proof that he was alive. There is. He literally talked to us.
There's one thing we do. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
I think what they want us to do is this.
While me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Oh.
Then, was he really still alive?
Of course not. It is impossible.
Celeste, you're an idiot. Why would you say
The
that?
first time we found Hifumi's and then,
Why would you say
And the
that?
next time, it was in the
but when you compare his body before, other than the change, there was no
Difference.
No, that's wrong.
That's literally just telling me the answer.
In fact, There was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should... This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Well, it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up, and with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious.
The one who moved was Hifumi.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it. If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
What are you about to pull out of your ass?
Absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about.
Encoding
right,
overload.
Mikako?
Consider turning down
Items
video
about
settings. The paper.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right.
I thought
He found it stuffed
Kyoko
in
was
his
about to pull something out.
What? In his pants?
Why? What?
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now.
What?
Take a look at what the note says.
I fell in the hole. Maybe we can use to escape. Monica came and can't get out, so don't tell anyone for now.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
Compare that handwriting to the one.
In other words, the killer
To the
got
one on the
person
blueprint.
besides Hiro. And that person could only have been
Fumi's pants. Are pants people? Are there pants people?
Shoot! In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro, and that person could only have been
Me. No, Taka. Me.
Right. Taka. The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Okay, so this is the part where I say because he had a scrap. No.
The note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter!
Yes, it does.
The note has nothing to do with
TikTok.
No, it's wrong. No, there absolutely
No.
is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place. Written in the... I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
And someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
Why would you believe them? Why would Taka believe them?
If they gave
I
them
get
to
why
Taka,
you would believe them.
What was him?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Compare the handwritings between the blueprints and the
Time clutching the note.
thing and the
Tried to free
and
the
the note, and then have everyone write something on the back of the paper and find out whose handwriting it is.
leaving behind only one small
Oh wait, you can fake your handwriting. Celeste is probably smart enough to do that.
Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was the second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then,
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must
have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus. Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's
You?
something that's been bothering me even more.
and what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same. With them having, but Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office, and so if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1.
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then...
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
Alright, it's a spotless hammer.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice
Hammer 3, maybe Justice Hammer.
Well, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info.
Well, one thing seems pretty clear.
I want to go to that website, but I'm worried it'll be a virus.
The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
No, it's wrong. The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
This is probably a bad idea. It's a t-shirt company. Oh.
But seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean. And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to
Yeah, but
fighting
Hifumi's an
someone else
idiot.
carrying out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not? Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have even if more than one could, only the one who actually carried out, assuming the rule holds true, it is...
No, it's wrong.
Why is everyone saying? Why is no one saying, "Hey Celeste, why are you pushing this so hard?"
One person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward.
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime, and based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
They wanted to rid of us of his bitch ass.
I understand how it
Bitch,
feels
I've been the
to
one
be
solving this.
But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
Why is he so much more badass in the anime and so much more of a S to the I in this game?
That's problem numero uno right now.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying then is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit from brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
I mean, you had him get you tea and stuff.
Pardon-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
What? Shut the hell up!
Sorry.
Sorry!
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Makoto! Why are you such a bitch in the game? Be more like anime, Makoto.
Saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said? We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said? Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
It was to get us to divide into two groups, so that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Well,
I'm guessing you
Celeste
suspected
and
him since
Hifumi
then,
were
but
working
you decided to
together.
go along with the
All
plan
those
just for a
chance
little
events suddenly
trolling.
become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor. Everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
I was certainly not expecting this. I could not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our mind.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
It was kind of obvious, Hina. You're stupid.
You were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah.
It's just you're small-brained.
I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to... Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing. I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
I remember her saying that too, but I
Oh,
don't understand what's a strange...
Celeste shouldn't have
Then
known
pay
that
attention.
Taka was dead.
Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what
You
you're
done
talking
fucked up,
about.
Celeste.
Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
I'm starting to like Byakuya. He's a good antagonist. He's a little trolling. He does a little trolling.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frozen and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
Yeah, I just don't know how to say it.
And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes. What was so
Strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said was they must really
That would be
enjoy
agreeing with
the sight
Byakuya, wouldn't it?
standing around, frozen and confused.
I think what they want us to do is grab So Strange and hit.
Going to die. We are going to die. Just and that is all I
And that's all it takes to finish.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said, they must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be positive we are all going to die.
We are going to die, just like guys died.
This game relies a lot more on the X button gimmick than DR2 and V3 does. Like, those only have one per
There's
trial,
no reason Celeste should have
while
said,
this has
just like those guys
a lot of
died.
them.
When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup. So let's put the suit on. And then...
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camp... In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
If it wasn't a picture, the only possibility is...
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
It's gotta be this, right? Oh, hold on, Discord message. I think it's this. We've already established this. I like how her accent just goes away. Well, A, that proves he was alive after he was killed the first time. Wouldn't he have just said hero? Everyone calls him hero. But how would Celeste, how would Hifumi know? That's my question. How would Hifumi know? I like this change of voice. Show us your e-handbook, bitch! That's it. So, Hifumi must have seen Celeste's e-handbook? Why? How did he do it? This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life. When you start it up, it'll display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. How did the killer recruit? Was it seduction? Big boob. I think it has to be that one. What number? I think it was 4. It was the number 4, right? Yeah, because they wanted us to believe that Taka died second. Which one is it? Is it this one? No, this is the one moving in the dolly, right? It could be either of these. But I think it's this one. Dun, 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 dun. The problem with this game is they killed Talk off before you could have any character development. Fuck. It can't be this one, right? Three was there. That's right. I'm stupid. No. Where is he hiding it? That's kind of this one thing. Oh, my desktop audio hasn't been on. Shit. My bad. There we go.
He got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again,
how long has that shit been on?
The chance he was waiting for. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along.
Okay, that was right.
And get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all...
Are you making them kiss?
Celeste, sorry, you lose.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost,
The
I don't
voice-
want things to drag on.
Interesting.
Is that the end? Oh, you were serious about that. A-rank gamer.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or
The voice
no,
change.
I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote, okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I had the voices off for like half the trial. My bad. It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The Blackened this time, the true killer who devised this whole stinking scheme was Celestia Ludenberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations. So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan, but how'd you get him to agree? I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying, and... My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to get him to lie to her. Then did you use, you know... I knew you figured it out. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her. For everyone who's still after, I would have made you my name, but it was the only thing that Hifumi and Taco were still into.
Say what?
Just
What? What are you talking about? No. We're in the middle of a very important conversation. I'm totally out of the loop as usual. How sad. Then you're the one that stole it. That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Ifumi into the plan you come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Ifumi a little visit.
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you alone. It was about what was stolen. I know who did it.
are you okay
It was
with this?
Taka. He stole it.
So
And I have
then,
proof. Would you like to see it?
Damnation!
So it was him, but how did he do it? She was supposed to yell. Yeah, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
as for me,
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh.
as for me,
What?
Oh.
Damnation! Say what?
It was amazing how completely he bought it.
Completely unforgivable!
most
Wait, what
unfortunate.
is it?
Actually,
What?
What do you mean use her to escape?
indeed.
Completely unforgivable!
Honestly,
I
See,
swear.
I have to save her.
actually,
Then would you like to join with me? It just so happens I've come up with a plan. I devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it's complete. Oh, nothing. Fumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item on him,
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume with Fumi's creation? Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt too. To hide the face and general body size, and no idea it made it like that. But it was my fault for picking it in the first place. Because you're stupid.
let's see.
In that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad of your stupidity. Life must have been tough on your parents, though.
Well,
Are you okay with
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, I told him to say he'd be seriously wounded, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course, that wasn't all there is to it. The plan was, while you were all questioning about what had happened, I was going to go murder someone else. At that point, it threw me out of an alibi. I just smashed a lie to lower the opponent. In fact, Ifumi ate it up.
so in the end,
And of course, you one that pretended to be dead did not. How can human life be that little? That's a non-issue. I see you did. Now you sound like Byakuya. No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt, and now that aspect we are nothing alike.
What the heck?
My only thought has been escape.
You little bitch!
Obviously, that was a lie. I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one more than anyone else in here.
You little
I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture, and you want to know why, huh? Because I had a dream and accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever, and there was no way I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my
As for
life to make a
me-
metaphorical killing.
Isn't it wonderful?
And my dream was to live in a castle, because I have material wealth. And to get handsome men from all the world to be my butlers / bodyguards. I was going to drink the dresses vampires and satisfy my every need.
This is fine.
That's what life is all about. Come out with my own winnings. Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream out. I got
There is
right to the
nothing
end,
to be
but
done.
unfortunately my good dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end. Were you able to kill your own friends for it? I asked you to be guilty. That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing for my own ends. That's all there is to me. That makes me complete. It's terrifying how different our values are. There's simply no room for understanding.
This.
My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I'm proud of that. I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious,
Yes,
and that's why I'm scared.
indeed.
I don't fear that. Kill me however you like.
Isn't it wonderful?
As I'd be incarnate, I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette. You just get executed again.
Thrills, chills, kills!
You're done, then let's get rolling. How did the Black Angel deserve the peace and must pay the price?
prepared a very special punishment. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
When you're Marie Antoinette. So question. How did Hifumi learn Celeste's real name to say it? Because that was awfully convenient that he knew her name. Yikes. This execution is kind of lame, not gonna lie. Like, the fire truck is funny the first time you see it, but after there's no more surprise factor. Why do you just stand there for a full 5 seconds? It's over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friends, but so I can't pity her. But I can. At one point, I considered her friend. And for him just to come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of the regression the aftermath. I learned someone would have to die. You guys are so young. You need to place more values on your lives. And here, I thought you guys are going to pass the torch of hope into the next generation.
Too bad.
You're the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is. But that reality cannot be avoided. I'm so sick of people asking that. Give me the rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key type object? So what's the deal with that? What's the matter? I answer your question and you answer mine. What did you do? What did you do to me? What?
Hey.
Answer me. What did you do to my body? Oh man, oh geez. What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that? Just now, the mastermind is telling you Kyoko. What does that mean? Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here. Meanwhile, you guys can go about joining your secret life. If you get lonely, it can be a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course. Monica only mentioned it. What's that key that Celeste gave you? Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Hey.
Indeed. Hey.
I'm going on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. Why exactly are you going alone? Do you even have to ask?
Come on.
Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please, let me go. Sitting here arguing is going to draw more attention to us. Do whatever you want.
Well,
bye, Byakuya. Then it's up to you now.
Yo.
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means? What? Hito, what?
Shall we go? So then...
You need to get in that locker.
You really came.
Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? I just did what Celeste asked. I didn't say we're gonna stay quiet the entire time. Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon, maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best. So now we can officially say the case is closed. I want you to be honest with me. Chico, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school?
However,
That's not something you need to know. I don't need to know, that makes me even more worried. Worried, like what happened in the investigation? You disappeared and we didn't see you, without warning, without explanation. When you do that, it's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, and you too. No, I believe in you. People believe in their friends, right? And I want you to pose for friends.
it's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you just a little bit more.
That's
then fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see, what I heard from Kyoko, it kind of blew my mind. What?!
Correct.
And the storage closet there, in the back. We're in the bathroom of the boys' bathroom storage closet. What do you mean, seriously? Just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
And in the back of the closet, there's a secret room. Why'd they make it so easy to discover? Volumes of yearbooks, they're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, Hope Peak Academy student registry, this is the only thing not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? You must not leave? That's kind of weird. I can't leave, but my head feels funny. This strange sensation, it's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before. But I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? I don't understand what was happening. I don't want to start it. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. I don't know how long it'd been. What fell on the ground? Where's the piece of paper that fell on the ground? Gone. It's all gone. The yearbooks and even the note that had fallen on the floor. Kyoko's probably seen the yearbook, right? Because it wasn't covered in dust. I desperately held my shaky finger in the gym. The sound got stronger and stronger. What's going on? It can't be nothing. Here in the gym? Before me raged a battle. No, one side's not human, that's for all. Regardless. Sans Undertale? Holy shit!
Why, what do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
The deal?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat. No longer compromise. No longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Then could it be the mastermind spy is... Chapter 3. The mastermind spy was the entire chapter. Leon killed Sayaka, Monokuma killed Junko, then Leon got executed. Then Mondo killed Chihiro. Is this the recap episode? And then he got executed. Fufumi killed Taka, and then Celeste killed Fufumi. And then she got executed. And that brings us up till now. That was the recap episode. Alright, thank you all for watching. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. Wait, is anyone streaming right now? No. Alright, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.